Hi Tristan, this is part 2. I've got Edmund to help me this time. These are 5 drills we're going to go through. They're all work on the idea of either the basket hilt in front of the face or at least protecting the head. First 2 drills you would have already seen, but we'll just go over them quickly again, so we're doing some variations on it. First one is the wrap block drill. What we do is take a position, you throw first. That's the most basic of all ones. Then we modify it by making sure we're taking a step, so we go a little bit further out. You take the first step, throw, take a step back. And we're just practicing rolling, throwing it there. What we then do is, once we've got our helmets on, we'll do it slowly, we do the same version of it, but we'll start throwing a variety of blows, varying the wraps. So you go first. Up. And we start. And all we're doing is start varying it. We make sure we're wearing armour and helmets. We start doing it much faster. It helps us to learn to not only throw a variety of wraps, but also block the wraps with the head. We learn to look at each other's arms to see as to whether we can tell where it is, and it's proving to be very useful. The second drill of that one is, of course, also a drill that's already on the net. Is the snap drill. We both go to guard and you just and all we're only trying to do that one is learn that mechanism. What we've discovered we start doing, we'll do it a bit slower, is that you start varying some of the distances, so he'll stay still and I'll move in at various times when I'm throwing it. Going in and out with it. The other one we start doing, we won't do it particularly well with heads, but because we're not wearing our helmets, but we'll get them to do it anyway, is that you start, rather than just doing that blow, you start leading the tip into different angles with the availability. I'll get Edmund to do it on me very slowly, because you'll see the blows as he's throwing them on me. So I go, and then he varies it. You can see how he output me. Because sometimes he goes under my sword, if I miss it, or he goes over the top of it. Okay? So you can start varying what you're doing. What you do is you start looking for it. And because you've got your sword block, you can actually look at it when the blow's coming in with your eyes to take an experienced guess at what happens then. The next drill is a snap to the head and then a rolling into an offhand to the head, both being shallow blows. So we'll do it very slowly again. Just go snap, roll, just for me, snap. Roll. And you can vary it with an offhand to a snap, or we sort of pattern what it is. So you do a snap and an offhand, and you take turn to a snap and offhand, and do that for a while. Then you can reverse it the other way too, to go an offhand and a snap. So offhand, snap, and snap, and snap. And what we're doing is, it's twofold. When you're throwing the blows, you're learning to grunt across, grunt. You can run it, a step if you want to. Step, step. Whatever's required in regards to leaning forward. See, 2 parts is powering it, rolling it around the wrist as fast as possible, and then you can vary it for a step. We found that to be quite good. Yeah, and blocking, it's a good blocking defence. And that's one we do a fair bit. The other one is what's it get you doing is a snap then a leg. Now this has 2 purposes: snap to the head then a leg snap. So I'll get Edmund to do it on me slowly. So he snaps to the head first, block, and then throws the leg. Okay. What you're learning to do here is it's teaching you to, again, do an upper blow then a lower blow while keeping your sword in front of your head. So you're still protecting your face when doing it, so you're going cross, you're covering downwards and up. So one of the hardest things to do we've found is that when people are starting to throw leg blows, so we all throw leg blows and go across. And it was one of these, never you throw a leg blow and you get hit in the head, you go, old school, recover. Whereas if you can do this, you may just be able to get your block in place if you're throwing it in time. So what it does do is it protects that. But also is really useful for when you're in your opening stance and someone throws a leg blow at you and you're not sure whether it's a leg or a fake. If you just you press or there, whatever's required from there, just covers it, makes it a little bit safer. So when doing this drill, even though you know where these blows are going to go, I should have said, you still commit like you don't know. So you're doing a thorough block. So if he does. So if we go through that drill, so first snap my head, his leg, snap, here. You can block it probably. Either way, I went to the automatic block, and that sort of protects that one from doing that. So basically, we've covered the wrap drill, a snap drill, a forward rolling in front of our face drill. We've done the snap to the leg, and then the final one we're going to cover is a offhand and a slot. Again, because the slot from the forward stance is a very, very fast blow. So if it just is standing like this and Scotty doesn't move, a slot's like this. Because you can crunch your body and move your hip, or you can combine it into a step. I'm obviously aiming for his basket hilt. But what we did is we found we could work that into a drill. We'd initially just do a drill where we take turns doing that side step and go. Same to me, straight. Taking a step to one side. And what that trained us to do is do a couple of purposes. Because we had a sort of forward stance, we'd all stand up like this. At which point it just taught us to learn to block. Same thing for the offhand, because people are going to target that arm. If you put your arm, your chicken wing your arm, they're either going to hit with a slot or they're going to destroying that one. And that's covered. That one's covered by making sure you're blocking like that in that snap drill, because you can start varying where you're targeting for. And that one's covered by doing that. Then we combined it into another blow rather than just a slot blow, which was throwing the an offhand. So we'll take a step forward. So you press it. Step. Right. Step. Step. And you keep them slightly in front of your face. Makes any sense? And that just learned to combine the blow into something else, into a rhythm where you're also blocking it. So you notice that some of these drills combine movement, defence and offence, and even though you're concentrating on only a couple points of it, it's best to try and incorporate them all. So we've got a couple of things to work on, because I know that you've got a couple of people you can fight with, but remember that the basis for that is also being on the pel and practising with your sword forward. Edmund and I were in the same circumstance that we learned old school, hands in various positions, and we've adapted our style comparatively recently to a more sword forward stance. 6 months of pain. Yes. But we found it to be extraordinarily useful, and we found ourselves living longer in fights because of it.
It's a much more defensive stance.
Right, we'll talk on the household list, and I hope this is useful. If you have any questions, give us a holler. Thanks, Edmund. Thanks, mate.